A lot of stuff is happening that you need to be aware of. We and our way of life are under attack from forces outside of the country as well as inside the country. We got serious things happening all over the place. Let's jump into it. We have multiple wildfires burning outside U.S. military bases. Fires that may have been started, and they just happen to be outside nuclear missile facilities and also outside Air Force bases. We got that and more. A produce manager in Ohio is going to be giving us some insider information on what's going on with cancellations of products. Products are just being discontinued. And the tricks that grocery stores are using to hide those things from us. Also, we have a major escalation over in Israel, too, that we need to talk about. We're going to hit all these things real brief and get you guys fully informed as best we can so that you know what's going on out there. Let's go. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates and your reports. Please do keep them coming in. Use the word update on any comment on this channel that gets it to the right place, and give us some sort of geographical location if you can. Genesis Gold Group is our sponsor, and they do a fantastic job helping people get out of stocks and bonds into gold, silver, or platinum coins. Physical metals that are yours. When you take a distribution out of your IRA or 401k, you're not getting cash or whatever. You're getting the actual coins that you purchased that were sitting in the bank. All right. Some big news hit yesterday. You probably heard about this, but in case you didn't, Supreme Court voted 9-0 that Trump was not permitted to be removed from the ballots by any state. Okay, so that's just off the table. Not only did, some of the conservative justices vote for this, we're talking about the most extreme liberal justices also said, no, that's not workable. States can't be taking people off the ballots, because what would happen is immediately a whole bunch of red states would start taking off Biden off the ballot, and it'd just be absolute chaos. And they realized that and said, no, that's not going to happen. So that does simmer things down a little bit for the near term, but more things coming our way for sure. Now, Israel has been accused of, the IDF has not actually confirmed this yet, but apparently the Israeli Defense Forces sent troops into Lebanon, across the border into Lebanon. Hezbollah said that they drove them back, but it sounds like that was a potential like special operations going in to clear the way, potentially for a larger scale invasion or a larger scale operation in that area. In response, Hezbollah launched waves and waves of missiles and drones across all of northern Israel. I've been saying it for a while. We have a bunch of information on the table that suggests that Israel is gearing up for a major incursion into Lebanon. This would definitely escalate things over there significantly. And with Iran having access to enough nuclear material to make at least 3 nuclear weapons now, this is very concerning. Are they finally ready? Do they finally have a nuclear weapon? Let's hope that they don't. This is from a viewer in West Virginia. Kroger in West Virginia. The workers are going on strike today after the union rejected the new 3-year contract. 3 dozen stores in West Virginia are affected. So if you're in West Virginia, be aware that Kroger, apparently the workers are on strike. This is from John, and yes, I have been seeing this news story, and I've held back from reporting on it because this is one of those things that lots of people get real emotional about, and sometimes facts get pushed to the back, and I still don't quite know where I land on this. I mean, I'm outraged, right? I think the government really should have better things to do. So Amos Miller, an Amish man Amish farmer in Pennsylvania. Now, we're not talking about like some guy who has a little farm. Okay, we're talking about a major operation here. They ship raw milk to thousands and thousands of customers across the northeast of the United States. Okay, if you want raw milk and you're in Indiana, you get this Pennsylvania farmer to ship you raw milk. Okay, now, on one hand, he's saying that basically because he has subscribers and because they're part of his they're friends of his through the business model, that he doesn't need any recognition. He doesn't need to submit to any inspections from the federal government or from the state of Pennsylvania. Now, there have been reports, whether they're true or not, that a whole bunch of people have gotten sick with listeria from these things. Is that just the government lying about it in order to shut them down? Is that actual legitimate cause for concern? But here's the thing. So on one hand, they're going after him, and read between the lines, it's because he's making products that they don't like. But what they're offering him, and this is what the judge offered him on Friday, was, we will give you free registration. All you have to do is submit to inspections, spot inspections of your tanks and everything like that, to make sure that there isn't bacteria growing in them. And this is where it has me kind of going, like, every restaurant out there has to submit to inspections for, health and stuff, health inspections. And the position that Amos Miller is taking, and his organization, his farming co-op or whatever, is taking, is that the government is not allowed to come and inspect us at all and hold us accountable for the quality of the food that we're producing. And I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I think that they should be able to sell raw milk, but I think that they should be inspected somewhat, Now, are they going to get a fair shake from the government if they do submit to inspections? Are false things going to be drummed up just to drive them out? There are hundreds of raw milk farms and producers that produce raw milk legally. But they do have to pay for registration and everything like that. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Should farmers be completely immune to any inspection? Can they bottle products that can go on the shelf and people are drinking and eating right off the shelf? Should those not have to be inspected at all? Can they make slabs of bacon and put it in plastic and put the wrapping and everything like that and sell that to you without having it inspected? I don't know. I mean, it seems like the government, with all this media and stuff like that shining on them, is acting kind of reasonable. They're waiving all the fees for getting set up as this. They're saying you just need to accept that you will be inspected for the food that's being packaged as ready to be eaten. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I know there's a lot of strong opinions on this, and there's a lot of misinformation going around about what exactly is being discussed here. I have to do tax accounting. I have to pay for registrations. I have to get permits and stuff like that from the government to do that. Any kind of business you do, you need to get permits from the government. And that's really annoying and everything like that. But it's like, if I have to do it, then why doesn't everyone else have to do it? Is a question that does kind of come up in mind. I think we should just scrap it all so that nobody has to do it. But food inspections, just, that kind of makes me feel a little bit better about food. I don't know. That's me. Cruise Control says, problems at the post office in Northeast Oklahoma. Mail is being delayed or processed very, very slow. Mail-in bill payments are not reaching their destinations on time. This is causing cancellations, late fees, and double billing. Make sure you read your bill before simply paying, okay? If you get your bill and you're like, why didn't the last payment show up? You might want to check your online account to see if if the check has posted. Check your bank account, see if the payment has posted before you go ahead and pay all of that, unless you want to be a month ahead. Anyway, Hetty says, Arkansas, we volunteer at a food bank and there has been no food all week. A whole week, no food at the food bank. This food bank covers a wide rural area with lots of low-income people. Friends, if you can do something for your local food bank, please do. One of the best things you can do for your food bank is donate cash. Most of these food banks can take that cash and they can buy $5 for every dollar that they spend. $5 worth of groceries for every $1 they spend. They get discounted pricing. Try not to go to the store and buy stuff and then donate it to the food bank. It's better for you to give the cash directly to the food bank. You can deduct it as well as, now if you're using it to rotate your pantry, okay, go, do what you got to do, right? Because that makes sense. Bonnie says, I went to Costco to pick up my meds. I got the meds, but I had to go back to pick up the diabetic meds as it was 3 days too early. So just a few days too early, and they're like, nope, you can't pick them up now. This has never happened before. This is in Calgary, Alberta. Tammy says, in February, Wells Fargo closed many bank accounts early February. My nonprofit was one of them. So they just went across the board and they're like, yeah, we don't like these nonprofits. We don't like these bank accounts. We're just going to shut them all down. When I called their 800 number, the girl said she was from one of the many small banks they had hired to answer the calls. Since it's a nightmare, the nightmare is that they have sent out cashier checks on what was in the account. So whatever is in the account, they mailed you a cashier check. No one, not one bank will cash those checks, not even Wells Fargo. The bank manager told me, we don't cash cashier checks anymore. Which, what's the point of a cashier check then? That's the point of a cashier check. It's as good as cash. Anyway, I told him, but you sent it to me. It's your check. So where is everyone's money? Why is Wells Fargo using them? And where is the money? Good questions out there. Banks are getting really weird about giving cash to anybody. Have you noticed that? Every time that I have a legitimate reason to get cash, I'm making sure that I get some extra. And because they're always like, why do you want cash? I give them a reason, and then I just make sure I take out extra. More cash than I need. Which is kind of hard to do because, we got bills to pay and all that kind of stuff. So Jayski says, when I worked at Aspen Dental 7 months ago, we used to charge people $2,000 per crown and $6,000 a bridge. It cost us about $2 per crown and about $5 per bridge for the actual components. Now, of course, you got to have, this is in New Port Richey, Florida. Now, you got to have doctors, dentists, and you have all the people there. You have to have all the insurances and everything like that. So that does add up, but still, that's quite a markup, right? That's quite a markup. Michelle says, hi guys, I'm the produce manager in Northeast Ohio. Here again with a report. We are seeing more and more discontinued products coming up on our order guides. So they get reports on all the products that's coming in and the products that are going to stop coming in. The remaining inventory on shelves are moved to a discount area with a last chance sticker. We have no new items to choose from to replace all these ones that are disappearing. We spread out our best sellers to those areas. For example, if we have a certain brand of pasta sauce that sells, we might have had only 1 or 2 facings of each flavor, but now we have 3 to 4 facings per flavor to fill the empty shelves. If I'm unable to get certain salad mixes, I'll do extra facings of whatever that may be selling well now. So if you see that in your stores, that's because products are being discontinued. Mama Long says, Southern Oregon coast. I had to get a written prescription from my doctor to hand my Safeway pharmacists. As of yesterday, they are still offline from the hack. This hack is a big deal, friends. Also, my neurologist, I have Parkinson's, has retired. He was the only neurologist in our county. If I'm lucky enough to be referred to and get into someone, I will have to travel 2.5 hours to get to a doctor. Absolutely crazy. Nashville Pasta Man says, New York last week sued all 6 major tire manufacturers for collusion in price fixing. But really, they have decided that they are going to take on companies that don't have their headquarters in New York. Companies will stop selling their products in New York. We're seeing that. We're seeing lawfare happening. And New York's doing it right now, but you wait. You're going to see California's going to start doing it too. They're just outright declaring war on all businesses that aren't based in these blue states. Wyoming gal says that grass fire in Cheyenne, Wyoming was extinguished, and now there's a second fire in the same area, which happens to be right outside F.E. Warren Air Force Base. Not to mention what else is in Wyoming, friends. And if you said, gee, isn't that where all our missilemen sites are? They're not all in Wyoming, but we got a bunch in Wyoming. And you'd be correct. We have them in South Dakota, we have them in North Dakota, we have them in Wyoming. I think we have some in Idaho, and then I believe there's some like in Colorado as well. So these fires, are they strategically placed? Are they intentional burns? Questions that should be asked, but not like we have a media in the country that would ever ask questions. This is from a viewer. This week my heart valve prescription was not available anywhere. And this is a medium-sized southern city. First time in 12 years, finally found a pharmacy in the next city over, had to pay cash. Thankfully, I could drive there. I asked about the shortage, but pharmacists are now seemingly trained to say nothing. A bad valve is a serious disability. It creates shortness of breath, chest pain, and left unmedicated, we are at risk of stroke. I've had tachycardia a few times. One fact is clear, the people making these meds are not our allies. That is the truth. All right, friends, if you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold, there's a link right there. Please do keep your updates coming. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report.